The provided image is a BTC USD 15-minute candlestick chart with volume indicators, displaying price action from November 12, 2025, to November 13, 2025. During this period, Bitcoin experienced significant volatility, trading within a range of approximately $100,870 to $105,500. Market analysis. Price movement. The chart shows a sharp decline in price on November 12, falling from above $105,000 to a low near $101,000. The price then began to recover, moving upward on November 13 toward the $104,000 range. Volume. The volume indicators show high selling pressure during the initial price drop, followed by increasing volume during the recovery phase. Market context. The price action occurred amid a general market pullback, where BTC pulled back from session peaks above $105,300 before finding support near the $102,000 psychological threshold. Some analysis suggested the price drop was forming a bullish falling wedge pattern, keeping hopes alive for future record highs. Current price information. As of November 13, 2025, the latest available data indicates the Bitcoin price is approximately $103,227 per BTC, with a slight increase of around 1.55% for the day. News sentiment analysis derived from external sources during the time frame shown in the chart indicates a mixed to bearish sentiment, with a notable shift as the market reacted to a price drop and a subsequent potential bullish pattern. Bearish sentiment. Institutional outflows and fragile sentiment. There was significant institutional caution, marked by substantial outflows from U.S. spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds (ETFs) throughout early November. This lack of institutional capital was cited as a reason the price struggled to push higher, leading to fragile sentiment in the market. Macroeconomic pressures. The price drop seen in the chart around November 12 was linked to broader macroeconomic pressures and investors engaging in profit-taking after the price failed to hold above resistance levels near $110,000. Risk of further drops. On-chain data showing a drop in active addresses suggested that the price rally was not broadly supported by organic demand, raising concerns about the sustainability of the price levels above $100,000. Some analysts warned of a potential drop toward the $95,000 or even $72,000 range if key support levels broke. Emerging bullish indicators. Falling wedge pattern. Despite the negative price action, several technical analysts pointed to the formation of a bullish falling wedge pattern on the charts. This reversal pattern suggested the downtrend might be nearing its end, with potential as $124,000 if a breakout occurred. Oversold conditions. Market indicators such as the Relative Strength Index (RSI) suggested that market conditions were oversold, which historically can precede a short-term market bottom and rebound. Government reopening. News of the U.S. government shutdown ending around this time initially generated some positive speculation for a potential price surge, as seen in the upward movement on November 13 in the chart, though the price action ultimately remained choppy. The provided chart only displays historical data and does not contain any information about future market movements or upcoming data releases. However, based on the current date of November 13, 2025, and general market calendars, several significant economic events and data releases are scheduled for the immediate future that could influence the Bitcoin market. Economic calendar, November 13 to 14, 2025. Thursday, November 13, 2025. U.S. data releases. Key data points such as the U.S. Consumer Price Index (CPI) meter per meter and YY, core CPIM per meter and YY, and initial jobless claims are scheduled for release. These inflation and employment figures are major market movers and could impact risk assets like Bitcoin. IEA Oil Market Report. This report may affect broader energy markets and overall market sentiment. Friday, November 14, 2025. U.S. data releases. The Producer Price Index PPI meter per meter and YY, core PPIM per meter and YY, and retail sales data are all scheduled for release. Strong or weak data in these areas can significantly influence Federal Reserve interest rate expectations, a key catalyst for the crypto market. Central bank speakers. Financial leaders, such as FOMC member Logan, are scheduled to speak later in the week. Their commentary can shift market expectations and create short-term volatility. Bitcoin-specific catalysts. Beyond the general economic calendar, market analysts are closely watching three key catalysts for Bitcoin's movement in November 2025. 1. ETF inflows. The flow of capital into U.S. spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds (ETFs) remains a critical indicator of institutional interest and a major price driver. 2. Federal Reserve's next moves. The Fed's stance on interest rates, particularly the expectation of future rate cuts, is a primary concern for investors and has a direct impact on the price of gold and potentially Bitcoin. 3. Macroeconomic data. Ongoing concerns about U.S. government debt, trade tensions, and global economic health continue to influence the overall risk appetite of investors. The image provided is a BTC/USD 15-minute candlestick chart combined with the Relative Strength Index (RSI), a common setup used for technical analysis in cryptocurrency trading. The data shown 2025 to November 13, 2025. Chart analysis and interpretation. The chart displays the price movement and momentum of Bitcoin against the US dollar. Price action. The price right axis experienced a sharp drop from above $105,000 on November 12, dipping below $101,000 before a recovery. Around midday on November 13, the price moved higher, peaking near $104,500, but has since started to decline and is current $1,000 support area. Volume. The volume bars middle axis indicate trading activity. High volume was present during the initial price drop and the subsequent recovery phase on November 13. RSI indicator. The RSI bottom axis is a momentum oscillator. Traditionally, readings below 30 indicate oversold conditions, potential buying opportunities, and readings above 70 indicate overbought conditions, potential selling opportunities. Hollow bullet. The RSI dropped into oversold territory below 30 during the low price period on November 12. Hollow bullet. It then rose significantly, reaching near the 70 level during the price peak on November 13, suggesting a potential downward correction was possible. Hollow bullet. As of the end of the chart, the RSI is moving lower, confirming the recent loss in bullish momentum. Trading implications. Based solely on technical analysis of the indicators. Bearish signals. The recent move away from the overbought region on the RSI and the price retesting the $101,000 support could signal a potential continuation of the short-term downtrend or further consolidation. Potential support. The $101,000 level appears to be a critical short-term support zone that traders are watching closely. This image displays a 15-minute candlestick chart for the BTC/USD trading pair, incorporating the pivot point, resistance 1, and support 1 PPSR indicator, likely from a platform like TradingView. The chart covers a period from November 12, 2015 to November 13, 2015, presumably in the year 2025, based on current search results. Market analysis. Action. The price of Bitcoin (BTC) saw significant volatility during this period. It dropped sharply around November 12, then rallied to a high near $105,000 before pulling back. Key levels. The price action occurred between the defined resistance R1, near $104,000, and support S1, near $101,000 levels. The market struggled to break above $105,000, indicating strong selling pressure at that level. Volume. The chart includes a volume indicator at the bottom, showing high trading volume during the major price movements, which is common in volatile markets like cryptocurrency. Indicator explanation. Candlestick chart. Each candlestick on the chart represents 15 minutes of price movement, showing the opening price, closing price, highest price, and lowest price during that interval. Green candles indicate price increases, while red candles show price decreases. PPSR points, support, resistance. This technical analysis tool helps traders identify potential turning points and key price levels in the market. Hollow bullet pivot point. Pivot, the primary support resistance level, calculated from the previous period's high, low, and close prices. Hollow bullet R1 resistance 1, the first level of resistance above the pivot point. Hollow bullet S1 support 1, the first level of support below the pivot point.
The image displays a 15-minute candlestick chart for BTC USD, Bitcoin, US dollar, incorporating a moving average, MA, line and volume data. Key features of the chart include 1. Time frame. Each candlestick represents 15 minutes of trading activity. 2. Price and volume. The right axis shows the price range from approximately $101,000 to over $104,000, while the bottom section displays trading volume. 3. Moving average. A yellow line represents a 14-period moving average, MA14, which helps identify trend direction. 4. Price movement. The price initially dipped below $101,500 around 1:30 on November 13, to a peak near $104,000 around 11:30, before declining again. And 5. Candlestick interpretation. Green candlesticks indicate that the closing price was higher than the opening price, bullish sentiment, while red candlesticks show the opposite, bearish sentiment. Disclaimer: this information is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice.
The image provided is a BTC USD, Bitcoin to US dollar, 15-minute candlestick chart with Bollinger Bands BBANDS applied. Bollinger Bands explained. Technical analysis tool that helps traders gauge market volatility and identify potential overbought or oversold conditions. Middle band. This is typically a 20-period simple moving average SMA of the price. In the chart, it appears as the white line. Upper and lower bands. These lines are plotted as specific standard deviations, usually 2, away from the middle band. They widen when volatility increases and narrow when it decreases. In the chart, these are the orange lines. Interpreting the chart. The chart for November 12 to 13, 2025, displays significant volatility. Volatility. The bands widen noticeably on November 12 between 6:30 and 11:30, indicating a period of increased volatility and a strong price move to the upside. Price movement. The price, represented by the green and red candlesticks, stayed predominantly between the upper band and the middle band during that uptrend, which is a sign of trend continuation. Current action. The price reached highs near $104,000, $105,000 on November 12, 2025, but has since pulled back and is currently hovering around $103,000 on November 13, 2025, testing support levels near the middle band. Based on visual chart analysis and recent financial news sentiment, the market during November 12 to 13, 2025, reflects a climate of bearish sentiment and extreme fear amid high volatility. Market sentiment analysis November 12 to 13, 2025. Overall sentiment. The prevailing market sentiment has been assessed as bearish, with the Fear and Greed Index registering a score of 24, indicating extreme fear among investors. Price volatility and downturn. The chart visually depicts a sharp increase in volatility followed by a significant price drop from near the $104,000 level to around $102,000. News sources confirm this period was characterized by negative crypto sentiment that ignited billions in fund outflows. Key drivers: hollow bullet profit taking and macro pressures. The price drop below $104,000 was largely attributed to investors booking profits and broader macroeconomic pressures. Hollow bullet liquidity and leverage. Reports indicate that thin market liquidity and a high level of leverage bets long positions exacerbated the sell-off, leading to a wave of liquidations and creating further investor caution. Hollow bullet geopolitical tensions. Ongoing global tensions, such as U.S. tariffs and trade war concerns, risk-off environment, pushing investors away from volatile assets like Bitcoin. Hollow bullet U.S. economic data. Investor wariness ahead of key U.S. economic data releases and Federal Reserve officials' cautious approach to interest rates further dampened sentiment. In short, the high price volatility and downturn shown in your chart correlate directly with a period of prevailing negative news sentiment and market uncertainty. This image displays a BTC USD 15-minute candlestick chart with two overlaid technical indicators, volume and standard deviation (STD-DEV). This type of chart is commonly used by day traders for short-term analysis in volatile markets like cryptocurrency. Chart components. Candlestick chart top section. The main upper section shows price action over time. Each candle represents 15 minutes of trading activity. Hollow bullet green candles indicate that the closing price was higher than the opening price. Hollow bullet red candles indicate that the closing price was lower than the opening price. Hollow bullet wicks shadows. The thin lines above and below the main body show the highest and lowest prices reached during that 15-minute period. Volume middle section. The middle area is a bar chart showing the total number of Bitcoin traded during each 15-minute interval. Hollow bullet green bars correspond to green up price candles, indicating more buying pressure. Hollow bullet red bars correspond to red down price candles, indicating more selling pressure. Hollow bullet high volume often confirms the strength of a price movement or a potential breakout. Standard deviation (STD-DEV) bottom section. The purple line at the bottom measures market volatility. Hollow bullet it indicates how widely the prices are dispersed from an average price. Hollow bullet higher values peaks in the purple line suggest high volatility and larger price swings, while lower values suggest low volatility. Interpretation. Traders use these combined indicators to make informed decisions. For instance, an increase in price with high volume tall green volume bar and high standard deviation peak in purple line would suggest a strong, high conviction upward trend with significant market interest. The chart covers a period from November 12, 2045 to November 13, 1645. After the first spike. Current outlook. Recent news for November 12 to 13, 2025 indicated a tight trading range for BTC, with strong resistance near $109,000 and support around $104,000 to